Okay, so I thought I would share something that I'm going to attempt to do. Basically, I bought this juice press off of Amazon. If I remember correctly, it was $59.99. And I've looked up some different things on bath bomb presses and trying to find a manual one that was in a reasonable price, and saw that some people were using arbor presses and what have you. And I've got to find something that is a compromise in between. I'm not going to spend, $1,200 on just a thing to press bath bombs, even though I have a compressor, so I wouldn't have to spend that as well. But I don't feel like you need all that, and especially with all the different 3D molds that they have out there, I thought this would be a good option. And I had seen some people do some modifications to it that seemed reasonable. So I don't have access to a 3D printing machine, so I'm going to try to use whatever I can basically to try to make this thing work. And since I bought a $60 juicer, if I could make these modifications in a way that I could also use it as a juice press, if for whatever reason I decide that this is what I want to do, then I'm going to try to do that. So I went to Lowe's and I bought one of these. This was down the plumbing section. I'll try to give that in the UPC for you to be able to look that up. This is where all of the drain things are to be able to cover your drain. And what I'm going to do with this one is take it and put it up underneath here. Now, this is going to have a little bit of a lip on here, which I'm completely okay with. I like the fact that this was stainless steel, so it's going to provide a good firm underneath part. And then I thought I would use handy tack, but I saw that they had this there, so I honestly don't know if this has any more strength to it than what handy tack does, but it was a couple of bucks, so I decided I would go ahead and go with that. It says on here paper, wood, tile, linoleum, cinder block, brick, metal, plastic, glass, and that it would be with just each tab. So it says use 4 tabs per pound of weight that you're wanting it to hold. So this doesn't really weigh anything, but I'm still going to take this, I don't know, maybe one strip of it or something, and like roll it out into a little worm thing, and then put it in a circle around here and smush it to try to hold this onto there, but in a removable way. So that's what I'm gonna do with that. And then I bought, this is a 3-inch PVC cap. I can sand this off. I have the fortunate ability to, I have a orbital sander, so I'm gonna sand this smooth. I'll try to hold that up there. I don't know if it'll focus on the UPC, but either way, go to Home Depot and ask them for a 3-inch PVC cap. So put that in there. And if you can tell from the side, it is not totally completely even onto there. However, I am going to then take this block of wood and put it on top, which would make it more even. But a couple of different things, like in here, because of this like little plastic grippy thingy, that there's a gap in there. But if this was sitting on top of that other vent cap, then it would be totally completely flat. And my idea was that I'm gonna cut this piece of wood to the width between here to here. And you could take this little guy off and just not cut it at all. And that would give you a full 6 inches, I believe this is. So from the back to the front. it would give you a full 6 inches of space. So I don't know, maybe I'll do that. But I don't know that there are many bath bomb molds that would be, you know, that extra wide. So we will work that out. But I do want to take this down a little bit. So I'm going to not only sand it, but then I might also, because I have access to a circular saw, and only because I have access, I'm going to shave off a little bit of the side, or maybe just do it with the amp. You know, that's what I'll do. Like, just take it with my orbital sander and sand down this side a little bit to make sure that it's going to fit inside of there. The difficulty is going to make sure that it's basically all even. So as I'm going through this, it's going to be a step-by-step of how do I want to really work this. And the thought would be, once I get this wood attached to here, I will probably use glue, that I would be able to lift this up off and still have this not be messed with at all. And under that circumstance, then I could use this as a juicer, like it's supposed to be, or as the bath bomb press. And I think I want to make this be a little bit wider as well, because I do have an embed. Like I want to get one of those 10 by 10 embed things. And even though with this, it's only going to put the even amount of pressure where this is, but you could still slide it to the right or the left and have it be even in there to get even pressure. So we're gonna stop this for here, and then I will videotape myself doing all the random things in my garage and come back to the end for a reveal. As I was doing this section of it, I was even thinking to myself, you don't technically need to do this. Advantages of sanding it down in some way, shape, or form would be that the adhesive would have a better opportunity to stick to the wood and get a longer lasting adhesion where, you know, better out of it. But if you didn't have an orbital sander or do regular situation, then you wouldn't have to. I would probably choose a thicker adhesive to adhere it to the wood, only because the lettering that's on there would make it not sit completely directly on top or flat on the PVC cap. However, I think it still, I don't know, it's not totally necessary if you don't have the tools. And you could, while you're at Lowe's, have them cut down the piece of wood for you, because they do offer that service. So hopefully this could be something that really you don't need to have any tools for at all, and could just have something really cool. I decided right there that I did not need to have the PVC cap be as even, you know, with the press, because it didn't really matter. When I put the piece of wood on top of it, that's going to be even, and I would run the risk of cutting it too short or sanding it down too short or uneven if I did sand the other side. So I was just going to see how this worked and then make any changes if need be. My thought process in deciding where I was going to cut this was just based upon the largest 3D mold that I had seen. If you guys have any other ideas of, hey, it should be wider because of this, or maybe it would be nice to have it shorter because of this, please comment and let me know. I am totally new to all of this and just trying to figure out the best way to navigate saving my hands in the long run, because I did have carpal tunnel surgery, as well as getting something affordable to help make things quicker by hand. So in this part, I just literally used one strip of that tack and rolled it as evenly as possible. And I think that it adhered perfectly. It was just the right amount. I don't think I'll have any problems with it not being glued onto there, because so far it's done amazing. We'll see if as you use the press and keep pressing it down, if it breaks through that blue and then starts to come away. But I think it was the perfect solution, and this stuff is only like $2. So all in all, this whole entire project probably cost maybe $15 at the most to add to the press. So you have the $60 for the press and then $15 for your supplies, and maybe 30 minutes of my time, I guess, to go through and do all this. So hopefully it works out, and let me know if there's anything else that you would do differently. So this is the final result of my modifications. So you can see the little bit of blue in here, sealing that together. And I mean, really, it's held on there perfectly. And the solid bottom, I don't think that this little, that would be an issue not being there with any of the molds. And then this, it does move around a little bit, but I ended up making it 6 inches wide because that embed mold that has like the 10 by 10 was 5 inches. So it just gives it a little bit of room. And I figure you would press it down, maybe off to the side a little bit to get even pressure, or maybe you'd have to press it like 4 times to hit one corner, the bottom corner, the other side, whatever. But really, the amount of effort you have to put down to press it in is like super minimal. And then I did decide to leave this part on, and then I glued and drilled that in place and left it overnight so I could remove this and use it for something else or not. And you could obviously like glue this in if you wanted to make it stay totally stable, but I don't see the purpose in that for me anyway. So I hope this helps somebody. I would probably put a clear coat of stain or something like that on there just to protect it. It's not going to really get moisture that much, but over time, or maybe even just beeswax to rub into there to be able to repel things like you would normal butcher block countertops or whatever. So I hope that helps somebody. Have a great day.